What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? So, by the title of this video, um, I want to elaborate myself because I had some good Giants gear, but I threw it away because the Giants was just a hot mess, and I expected a lot from them. Um, I expected a lot from them because they are they are a historic franchise. They was established in 1925, 100 seasons, obviously. They were actually purchased for $500. A lot of people don't really necessarily know that, but yes, the New York Giants was purchased for $500 um, back in 1925 because, the time period of that era was different, you know. Um, but what went wrong with the New York Giants? From from early 2000s and through early 10s 2010s, they were pretty much good. you know I would probably say 2000 through 2003. They had one Super Bowl appearance, and after that, they had to find their quarterback because Kerry Collins wasn't it. Even though he took us to the Super Bowl, and he was going up against a very good Ravens defense at the time that was allowing 11 points per game that whole season. So, us going, us blowing out the Vikings 41-0, and then obviously um us going to the Super Bowl facing them, nobody gave us a shot that season. Um and we were pretty good. 2003. After that season, we just collapsed. And then came that 2024. No, not 24. Came that '04 season where that trade happened with Eli Manning sending Philip Rivers to the San Diego Chargers. Now, a lot of people were saying that Eli Manning didn't want to play for San Diego. A lot of people were saying that he wanted the smoke, he wanted the pressure. You know, he wanted to be in a big market so he could prove himself. Because if he played in any other market, like a small market like San Diego, he wouldn't really get the recognition. So him playing in New York catapulted his career to high heights. Now he didn't start out very good. Obviously, he had Kurt Warner as his backup. Um, and by midway of the season, I believe Tom Coughlin just pulled the plug and he started Eli. Now, again, Eli didn't have the best of his performance his rookie year, um, but he learned from it. He learned from it, and he just got better every single day, game after game after game, year after year after year. He just gotten better. The offensive line wasn't really that bad. Um, it wasn't really that bad um, as it is now. Um, and the Giants just put pieces around him. He came into a very good organization that was already handmade for him. He had Tiki, he had Shockey, he had pretty good receiving core. He had a decent defense. And over the years, like I said, man, he just got better. Um, Now, 2007 was special season. Obviously, Tom Coughlin was always in the hot seat because just his performance. He was that old school head coach that just yells a lot and don't have patience and be finding anybody that be late. He ran a tight ship. Him and Eli came in the same year together. And then I think after that, they hired a new GM of Jerry Reese. Um, and then they all three of them just got together. They built through the draft, and the results showed. That 2007 season, we started off 0-2. The tabloids starting to pop. Tom Coughlin's job is in jeopardy. This and that. So Tom Coughlin knew that he had to turn a new leaf. He knew that if he can't get to his players, if he can't connect to his players, he's not going to have a job anytime soon. And to piggyback, Tom Coughlin was a wide receiver head coach, and he was also a head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who he did pretty well with. They also won a championship. He coached in Boston College, I believe, came into the NFL, and him and Eli clicked. I remember me watching that press conference when they let go of Tom Coughlin, and John Mara went to sit up. John Mara stood up to go shake his hand. That dude ran right, not ran, but he just walked right past him, didn't even say anything, you know, because by that time I knew this organization was gonna go down the toilet. Because I don't care how bad your coach is, you do not let go of the coach that won you 2 Super Bowls. What have the Giants done ever since Tom Coughlin left? Nothing. This is what happens when you listen to the media and the tabloids and the fans. Oh, we want a new voice. Yeah, y'all want a new voice, but them voices haven't really got y'all anywhere, huh? Actually 2 playoff appearance in the last 10 years, 2016 and I think 2022. Like, come on. So 2006, they had an okay year. Finished strong. Tiki Barber retired. Obviously, he just couldn't take it no more. 2007 started the season off 0-2. We bounced back, and we actually won the Super Bowl. Now, how we got to the Super Bowl was a very interesting dilemma. Everybody was picking against the Giants. You know, everybody in the media, everybody was just picking against the Giants, even against Tampa Bay, which Tampa Bay Buccaneers was pretty good that year. We started very cold in the first quarter, and Eli Manning was just inconsistent. They wasn't running the ball very well. They wasn't really running the ball very well. And then in the second quarter, they just turned it around. They started playing very good defense. They was taking the ball over, they getting sacks. The offense was pretty good. And then we won. Heading into Dallas, it was a slobber knocker. It took that one end zone interception to seal the deal because Jerry Jones already bought the tickets. So there was no need for us to even, that was the most stupidest thing Jerry Jones ever done, you know. But kudos to Jerry Jones. And then we went on to the frozen tundra to face Lambeau Packers, Brett Favre, legendary Brett Favre, with all his toys and weapons and stuff. And we went to overtime, beat them, I should say. Lawrence Tyner missed 2 field goals. Um, and then the last one, obviously the last overtime, he kicked it. It was good. We went on to Super Bowl 42. Prior to that, we actually lost the last game against the Patriots 35-38, but we knew that we was going to face them down the road, and they knew that too. So fast forward, we in Super Bowl 42, Arizona Cardinals. I mean, Arizona, they was in Arizona, okay? And then the rest was history. Everybody saw it. I don't need to go into details. That famous Tyree catch, David Tyree catch. And we won 14-17. Now, to piggyback in the press conference, Tom Brady said, "Oh, we only going to score 14 points." You know, that wasn't a great idea by Plaxico because the Patriots offense was very high potent that year. They had Welker, Randy Moss, you know what I'm saying? So they were pretty good. They were pretty good offensively, and then we shut them down defensively. Um, and then after that, 2008, we had they they always say that once a team wins the Super Bowl, is like there's like a Super Bowl hangover. We didn't have a Super Bowl hangover. We finished the season 12-4, and that's when Plexico Burst shot himself, and he was released by the team. Toomer already retired, and yeah, it would just went from downhill. 2009 started the season out 5-0, and then we faltered down the stretch, finishing the season 8-8. 2010, we didn't make the playoffs. We finished the season 10-6, but we didn't make the playoffs because our divisional record was bad. We only swept the Redskins and the Dallas and the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys and Eagles swept us, so our record was like 2-4. 2011, um, it was shaky, obviously losing against the Redskins week 1. And then after that, we had to win our last remaining game. So we had to beat Dallas, and I believe we had to beat the Jets because we had lost to the Redskins, which we needed that game. So we had to win our last two remaining games to play for the NFC East Championship against the Cowboys. And so it wasn't against the Eagles. No, it wasn't against the Cowboys. I think it was against the Jets and some other team. I forgot. But we had to win that game. We had to win those two games to obviously, you know, because we already own the tiebreaker. So we beat the Jets. We went on MetLife Stadium, 2011. We beat the Cowboys, and then we won NFC East champion. We were NFC East champions, and then we went on at home, had home court advantage, um, beat the bricks off the Falcons, went to 49ers, who actually beat us that year. Victor Cruz had a coming out party against Carlos Rogers. We beat Green Bay Packers. Hakeem Nicks with a career high 4 touchdowns in the postseason, which hasn't been broken yet. Um, and then we went on to Super Bowl 46 in Lucas Oil Stadium. In Lucas Oil Stadium against the same team. Now, obviously, they didn't have Wes Welker, they didn't have Randy Moss, but they had two very good, high productive tight ends, and Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. And we beat them 21-17. We came out firing safety, and then we went out for a touchdown, and it was 10-0. And then that's when the Patriots started to creep back into the game. Victor Cruz with a touchdown. Hakeem Nicks, I think, going to cut like one pass. Mario Manningham had his coming out party against the San Francisco 49ers. He wasn't too much of a factor in Super Bowl. Oh, actually, he made that. Obviously, he made that one good catch on the sideline. And the Giants was actually backed up, to be honest with you, in their own end zone. So that could have resulted into a safety as well. But it didn't. Eli Manning had time. The offensive line gave him time. He threw it, you know, the little tap on the shoulder, you know, and he caught it. And then they went on to win Super Bowl 46. After that, they had a bad stretch down. 2013, 14, 15, 16. 16 was not obey. 16, 2016 season wasn't really that bad. We finished 11-5 or 11-4 because of our defense. Jerry Reese took his head out his butt, and he actually invested a lot of money into the defense. That's where we got Snack Harrison and Olivier Vernon and Jack Rabbit and the cat from Cleveland. I forgot his name. Um, Vernon. There you go. And then we still had JPP. So the defense was our backbone of our team. The offense was non-existent, even though we had Victor Cruz, Sterling Shepard, Odell Beckham Jr. They were non-existent. They were struggling to score points, and every time they did score points, we would have to bank our defense to seal the deal. You know, and then after that, we went on to face the Green Bay Packers, and it was ugly. It was ugly. They beat us 38-13. I was just watching that. I was just watching that last night. It was bad. It was bad. Our seventh string receiver was the only one who caught a touchdown, King. Um, and it was bad. And then after that, 2017, we were bad. 18, we were bad. 19, we were bad. 20, we were bad. 21, we were bad. No, 19, 20, 21, 20. Okay, so 20, I think 21 is where we made strides. We drafted Saquon Barkley, we drafted, Daniel Jones, such and such. And we made the playoffs, beating the Tennessee Titans week 1. We had a lot of shockers beating the Ravens uh, down by 20. And then we made the playoffs. We made the playoffs and we beat the Vikings, and then we got smacked against the Eagles. So now here we are, 2024. Um, I don't know what I don't know what went wrong. I really don't. Um, I mean, I guess you could say the Giants failed to replace Eli. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they didn't draft quarterbacks. They did. They just didn't pan out. You know. Um, oh, I forgot. We benched Eli for Geno Smith. Um, but the writing was already on the wall. You know, when they fired Tom Coughlin. Because I still think that he could coach. Like if you look at Mike Tomlin, that dude is still coaching. How is that dude still coaching? But we let go of Tom Coughlin because we needed a new voice. Pat Shermer, Ben McAdoo, Joe Judge, Brian Dable. Brian Dable's on the hot seat. So we ran through 1, 2, 3, 4. We ran through what? How many coaches since Tom Coughlin? We're gonna be in that dilemma where we can't even get the head coach right. And I don't think Brian Dable is right I don't think Brian Dable is right for the New York Giants. I know a lot of people want to say, yeah, he was the defensive coordinator for the Jets. A lot of people didn't know that. So he stayed in the AFC. You know, when Brett Favre was on the Jets back in early 2000, he actually was the defensive coordinator. No, offensive coordinator. Yeah, I think he was an offensive coordinator for the Jets. And then he obviously moved to Buffalo, where he spent probably the majority of his career there. Um, and then that's when they build around Josh Allen. They drafted Josh Allen, and yeah, and now he's here. So they really haven't really gotten their quarterback, because I've said this many times. Daniel Jones is not their guy. I mean, they could have drafted a quarterback to replace Eli a long time ago, but they didn't, because Eli Manning never missed a game. So what was the point? You know what I'm saying? Our best backup quarterback was David Carr. Um, so yeah, so we just didn't need a quarterback because Eli Manning was Iron Man. We just needed to put pieces around him constantly. You know, um, So if I were to blame one person, it's management, because the players cannot accumulate talent. The coaching staff, the scouting department, the personnel, all those guys have to go out and find the best talent available. And the Giants do not do well when it comes to that. They used to in the past, you know. I mean, they found Steve Smith, Mario Manningham, Aaron Ross, Terrell Thomas, Corey Webster. What happened to all those guys that contributed? I don't. If you look at this team, it's like you don't see any of that. You don't. They trying to build. They're trying to build through the defense. To me, in 2024, they trying to build through the defense. That's what it looks like to me, because they're not giving no effort in building this offensive line. Like, you expect a whole bunch of free agent offensive linemen to come in here and automatically, fill in the gaps and fill in no. The offensive line is the foundation for a reason. That's why they call it the foundation for a reason. If you don't have an offensive line, you're going to be not good in the NFL. I don't care who you are. You could put Patrick Mahomes behind this offensive line. You think Patrick Mahomes is going to survive behind this offensive line? PFF ranked this offensive line 31st. 31st. I think the Redskins have the worst offensive lineman in the NFL with 32nd. They're ranked 32nd. So the Giants are not far behind. Like, you built through the draft. Like, look at the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody was laughing at them when they was picking offensive linemen after offensive linemen. And when you saw them running the ball constantly, it didn't matter. It didn't matter the running back. It didn't really matter the running back. They were crucified. They were crucified for picking offensive linemen. Like, you don't pick the offensive lineman in the first round, and then so like they did this year after year after year after year because they were smart. As much as Giants fans bash and ridicule the Cowboys, they know how to do business. They may not show it consistently on the field. Well, actually, they do, but they may not get it done in big time games, but they know how to attract talent. The Dallas Cowboys is like the LA Lakers. Like, they know how to accumulate talent. And they've been doing that for years. Kobe, Shaq, Hakeem, DeBar, Wes. You look at the Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, like, they groom those guys. Giants never had that. Why do you think the Giants always constantly struggle to find a quarterback, to find a receiver, to find a tight end? And when we do, we can't even keep them because we don't know how to utilize them the right way, So it's all personnel. I blame the management 110%. I don't blame the players because they have to go out there and do their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to go out there and do their jobs. So I will never plague the players. Now, they can play bad. I mean, I don't think they can play bad, but outside of the quarterback, yeah, if you don't have the right quarterback, like, I didn't watch Hard Knocks, but I watched like the preview of a week of season 2. It's like they invited all those quarterbacks in the meeting, and then they were just trying to pick their brains out to see how they are. Even the first round pick, Caleb Williams, was in there. Even though everybody knew he was going to go first overall, but, we just never knew, or they just never knew he was going to come off the board. Maybe he would have dropped down due to character issues and stuff like that, But he didn't. The Bears took him first overall. So, okay, scratch him off the board. Now that remains Daniels. There was Drake May. There was J.J. McCarthy. So the Giants didn't feel any of those guys. Okay, so now they're putting their trust in possibly their jobs on Daniel Jones' shoulder. Now Daniel Jones can go out there and Christmas tree this season, or he could play decent. If he can play decent, if he plays decent, then we don't have to worry about this shenanigans anymore. But if he goes out there and struggles and he gets hurt, probably let's say week 3, week 4, he gets hurt, it's a done deal. And next year's draft, they might probably be only 2 quarterbacks that come out this draft. Because next year's draft is not even going to be quarterback heavy, you know? Because you get quarterback heavy drafts every 3 or 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Um, Not often do you get a crop of quarterbacks, you know, um, in the draft. So next year, probably 3 or 2 quarterbacks might come out this draft class, you know. Um, because I was watching NFL PFF, and they actually have the Giants winning 3 games. So that means that they have the Giants picking. They have the Giants picking in the top 3, just like how they did in 2019 or 2020 when they picked Saquon Barkley second overall. So yeah, that's basically the New York Giants history. I can't really go that far back because I wasn't really born to see all those guys play. I think Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms retired the year I was born. So yeah, I didn't really get to see any of those guys play. But I did go back and watch highlights of them on YouTube when I was at school. So, but yeah, let me know what y'all think. Why you think the New York Giants are struggling? What happened to this franchise? See, the difference is Giants fans have the answers. I have the solution. Get rid of Daniel Jones. Because if you look at it, look at my Knicks. Now, I'm not really going to compare RJ Barrett to Daniel Jones, but if you saw when we got rid of RJ Barrett, and we got OJ Anunoby for him, look how better my Knicks were when RJ Barrett was on the floor. I'm not saying RJ Barrett was trash, but he was the weak link of that group. We got rid of him. Everybody was flipping out. Oh, you can't get rid of this. We got OG Anunoby in return. My Knicks started playing better. Now, obviously, he has to stay healthy. I know I'm getting off topic, but stay with me. He has to stay healthy because we just signed him to a 5-year deal. So he has to stay healthy. Um, but yeah, I mean, you say, okay, you get rid of Daniel Jones, then what? This offensive lineman is still this offensive line is still crap. The receivers, their tight ends are still going to be there. The running backs are still going to be there. But until the Giants fix this offensive line, they're good. They're just gonna be mediocre. They're just gonna not. They're just gonna. They're just not gonna be themselves. Because when the Giants had an offensive line, you saw them take shots down the field. You know, you saw them drive down the field. Now they're just doing a whole bunch of dink and dunks and shit like that. Like that's not the Giants. The Giants always predicated themselves on running the ball. And I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to be missed that much. I think if you put the right running back in that system, I think they'll flourish. I think they really flourish. Like Likatiki Barber, when he retired, most Giants fans was relieved and happy, and the other Giants fans was like, "Oh man, like we lost our best running back. Like now what we're gonna do?" What did we did? We went in the draft and we drafted Jacobs and Bradshaw. And then we got Cadillac, not Cadillac Williams, we got Derek Ward in free agency. And then we started a whole Earth, Wind, and Fire campaign, which worked, you know. Bradshaw was Earth. No, Bradshaw was Wind. Jacobs was Earth, and Ward was Fire. So, but that trio didn't really last that long, to be honest with you, because Derek Ward wanted more money, so he went to the Buccaneers. Yeah, went to the Buccaneers. So yeah, man, that's basically my history of the New York Giants. I'm sorry I couldn't really go back further, but like I said, I started being a Giants fan. I was a Giants fan around 2004, so that was right around Tom Coughlin, Eli Manning. Because my Knicks was just so bad early 2000s. They were just a mess. So I just had to, pick a new leaf, pick a new team, I should say. I'm still a Knicks fan. I'm still a Knicks fan, but it was just hard to watch. It was just hard to watch. I needed something, even though I was not even into baseball. I tried baseball, but it just didn't work out. So football was the calling, I guess. So um, like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in. I know I didn't really have anybody, but just give this video a thumbs up. And that was my whole history of the New York Giants. Um, so like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.